stop peddling the myth that the guarantee was a misguided intervention.
Like if Lehman's didn't collapse.
The plan is working. We have turned the corner.
If we make the right choices, we can steer Ireland out of these rough waters.
Cribbing and moaning is a lost opportunity. In fact, I don't know how people who engage in that don't commit suicide.
I'm Minister for Finance for less than a year, and I can see that. And I've devised a plan that will get us out of these problems and lead us on to better times. That's what we need to rally around now. I'm not really interested in a blame game.
Well, obviously, if one had the benefit of hindsight and saw the crash of the world financial system in prospect, certainly the options and the policy choices would have been different.
Lehman's went on the 15th of September and we raced into an international recession. Then we were in a different playing field. But I don't have to remind you that those things happened after I left office, and I'm not responsible for those.
That's an international phenomenon at present. It's not just banks in Ireland. Banks in Britain and America have gone under. Our banks are not in that position.
We have a coherent policy position which is working, which is in place, which has been approved by the European Commission, and which will get us out of this problem.
The banks in Ireland are built on very solid fundamentals.
I have found this job a tremendous challenge, and it's great to see that many of the decisions that are taking are resulting in us turning the corner this year. We will turn that corner. It's important we believe in ourselves, because so many individuals overseas have praised, not the government necessarily, but the Irish people for the decisions that they've accepted in the last 2 years. You know, they've been very difficult decisions, but what everybody is saying in Europe and in North America is, look at the Irish. They're prepared to make the decisions to put themselves on the right track. And I'm not looking for a political kudos in this. I think the people themselves deserve the credit.
The Irish people are entitled to be angry with the bankers who lent recklessly over a considerable period of time in the earlier part of this decade. It's clear that these losses were installed in our banking system and in some of the banks by the middle of the decade. And it's clear that the banks have spent some of the banks have spent a considerable period of time trying to conceal the existence of these losses. With the establishment of NAMA, the state went in, established exactly what the losses were, and we're now dealing with them. In the case of Anglo-Irish Bank and Irish Nationwide Building Society, the state has to downsize these institutions over a period of time to prevent them becoming a systemic threat to the state itself. That's how serious the position that was developed in those banks was. That they developed, and in particular Anglo developed to a size where it was, in effect, its balance sheet, its annual turnover was half the national wealth, and it became in itself a systemic threat to the financial viability of the state. That particular nightmare the government has had to live with, the Irish people have had to live with, and I've had to live with since September 2008.